This Discover Mirrorless vlog post is brought to you by the MePhoto brand of travel tripods.
The GH3 comes with 7 different picture profiles, one of which is actually a custom profile that allows you to modify your 6 built-in profiles and store it into a custom setting. Now that is in addition to your 5 custom modes on the top dial of the camera, which I will go over with here shortly. Let's start from the beginning here, and I'm going to show you how I have it set up. Now again, a lot of times I'm changing as I'm shooting. Sometimes I want a more contrasty, less contrasty. It's pretty straightforward. You can actually use the control dial back here. You can even drag your finger, kind of like what you would do with an iPhone. It's pretty rad, or you can use the soft buttons on the screen. Pretty cool. So here's standard. Standard I leave as standard. Contrast. Sharpness I leave at standard. Saturation, again, standard. Kind of getting the picture here. And the noise reduction I leave all the way down to -5. I really don't want any noise reduction on any of my JPEGs. I'm totally cool if the image has got a grain. Grain does not scare me. I ate grain for breakfast, for real. So like after I have my grain in my breakfast, I'm going to go out and shoot some photos, not fearing the grain. And the grain is to me, grain is beautiful, and an image adds character to an image. So there's our vivid. Vivid, you can see the difference there. Standard, vivid. Vivid, I take contrast down 1 click, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Sharpness is at your baseline 0. Saturation is punched up twice. Now you can see when you punch up your saturation, you are actually increasing your contrast a little bit. Okay, so to compensate for that, I take my contrast setting down 1 click. And then noise reduction down to -5. Natural is the standard of how I shoot with the GH3. I really like the way the natural images look. They do look very natural, and the way I have it set up, and if I use my white balance to warm it up a little bit, it's got a very film-like feel, and I really do dig it. So contrast down 2 clicks, although sometimes if I am out and it's cloudy, I may actually punch it up 2 clicks. But for the way I keep it normally, there it is, 2 clicks. Sharpness, up a click. Saturation, up a click. Again, noise reduction down to 5. Monochrome. Monochrome is a very, very versatile profile. Now, I keep my contrast basically at 0. But again, like I was doing with my natural, if it's cloudy out, I may want more contrast. And if it's maybe I'm shooting midday, I may actually pop it down a couple. And you can actually, if you're creative with these settings and with your white balance, you can do some pretty awesome stuff. You can make your images have look like vintage film, or you can go crazy and do your own cross-process effects. That is up to you. You got to experiment. That is how you learn. Okay, monochrome, sharpness down all the way. Okay, I'm not a sharpness fiend. The cameras are plenty sharp on their own, so I like my sharpness down all the way with saturation. Or I'm sorry, with sharpness down all the way to -5 there with my monochrome image. Now check this out. For saturation, what happens is as you are changing it to the right, you're getting a cool tone black and white. That is awesome. And if you're going to the left, guess what? It warms it up. So now you're starting to get a sepia look. How cool is that? I mean, it's super rad. I really like the cool tone images. In fact, I did an editorial assignment a few weeks ago, and I actually had shot some of the cool tone, and that is what ended up getting published, was a cool tone portrait. JPEG, by the way, for the win. Noise reduction down to 0, or -5. -5. Okay, let's go back up. The other picture modes I haven't really played with too much is scenery. But as you can tell, everything is -5, so that's just my noise reduction settings that I prefer. Portrait, I've not played with those yet. Now here's the custom mode picture profile that you can take anything. Say like, let's go back to our monochrome, and I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna drag this to the right. I'm gonna make this cool tone. Okay, I'm gonna go to custom setting. Yes. And now custom setting is my cool tone black and white. Dope, that is awesome.
This Discover Mirrorless vlog post is brought to you by the Me Photo brand of travel tripods.